Surprise! It's Mark Goldberg from Mark Vlogs Watches. Crooked hat. There, better. Okay, thank you for joining me today. There are like none of you in this chat room right now, but this is a live stream chat. This will be filled with shenanigans and nonsense. So if you have tuned in after this actually posts up to YouTube as a video, and if you get annoyed with all the introductory nonsense, well, I introduce my co-hosts and begin to talk to the peanut gallery, the kids in the room, then you might just scrub ahead 4 or 5 minutes, because by then we will be involved in the actual stuff that comprises a video. I am Mark Goldberg. I am your host, and I will be joined shortly by the Cardinal, Clyde, the Watch Wrangler. I've got to rub the mug. It's very hard here. Oh, there. I like to rub his little face. I like to rub his little skirt. And look, magic. He's here. Clyde works every time. Wake up, Clyde.
Are you going to put the live stream link out in the live stream comments?
Well, no, I'm not. And I think we don't do it, Clyde. Don't do it. I don't want randoms. Let's not. Well, the reason that Clyde is teasing me, asking me if we're going to put the link up in the, basically in the comments section, is because Clyde, after the Archie luxury extravaganza tonight, you went on and did a live stream of your own on your channel, which is the Clyde Watch Wrangler channel. And
by live stream, I meant, we camera.
The Clyde stream is different than the live stream. The Clyde stream, you're really only going to hear on the Archie program. That's when Clyde tinkles right in the middle of Archie's, show.
I prefer to think of it as valuable social commentary.
Actually, didn't you just tell me that you're finding it hard to tinkle without Archie on the other end of the phone?
Yeah, now I'm having to take the laptop in the bathroom and start using the Archie soundboard.
I've been anally raped. Oh God, I can go find it.
Yes.
So, but then after Archie was off, you went on with a live stream of your own. At some point, you copied the link into the comments, and what happened, Clyde? Tell us in your own words.
Well, someone came on, and someone came on, and it was just
came on. Came all over you, buddy.
I think it was Lady Scoop, and literally, so unzipped their jeans and pulled out this enormous wig.
Clyde, I can't even. You're laughing too hard. We can't. The punters won't understand what you're trying to say here.
Well, evidently, yeah, and just pulled out a large member. Yes. So we then had to take it to the live stream down.
Okay, whoa. Let me translate, because you got a little excited there. Guys, what happened was Clyde put the link up and some random clicked in and basically flashed Clyde his manhood in a state of semi-excitement. Can we say that, Clyde?
Yeah, and of course, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Dr. BBC.
How do you know that? You going by skin tone? Are you going by fit and finish? Are you going by helmet, no helmet? Well, never mind. We got to stop. But anyway, that's
well, number one, it wasn't dull.
That is the reason that we are not putting the link up. So
what was the first thing you asked?
I don't remember. What
did you put it on private?
Yeah. Well, okay. The first thing I asked was, give me the link. And Clyde's like, it's gone. And I'm like, wait, you mean you made it private? He goes, no, I deleted it. I'm like, oh, damn, Clyde, I maybe could have identified that punter for you. Oh, look, it's Blue Shirt Buddha. Okay, look, from the sublime to the ridiculous. Guys, thank you for being here. Look, I've got a comment up here from Wesley Martin, and a couple of other people, in the comments mentioned this also. There's Rob. I did a live stream. Clyde, I know you didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I did a live stream with a guy I think is very intellectual, very interesting. And unlike you and me, Clyde, he takes the discourse to a higher level, whereas you and I are constantly seeking a new low, But Jeff McMahon has his own channel. He's a very intellectual guy, very thoughtful, slightly tortured, but definitely a watch collector. So if you haven't gotten a chance, that's posted up on my channel. Have a listen to that interview when you can. I thought he was really really interesting and added a lot to the thought about watch collecting and human psychology.
Mm.
Well, Clyde,
I thought you were going to pull a Daily Woo there and like squeeze the water bottle shut.
let's do a quick fist watch check. I'm wearing the gold Submariner, full gold bluesy, first gen ceramic, now discontinued. Now, does the fact that it's now discontinued make it like yesterday's news and not good, or does it make it, the future classic collectible? What do you think?
Hard to tell with a precious metal. But, but then again, I think they changed the text from gold to white.
They did. Yeah. Well, here's what he's talking about, guys. If you look, see the text on there and the coronet up by the triangle at the 12 o'clock position, and then all the text on there. That's all in gold on this version, and on the new version, it's all in stark white. Which
gold burger.
Mackenzie doesn't like it in white, and I didn't even realize it until he told me. He's more OCD than I am, and when he pointed it out, I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I got the one with the gold writing because it doesn't jump out into your face as much, I think.
And now Mackenzie may not be able to get his hands on that one.
Well, I can't believe you. You don't suppose that was Mackenzie, do you? Anyway.
Well,
yeah,
I should have saved you.
Did you just say shaved me? Oh, Clyde, like I said, if Jeff McMahon lifts the discourse, you and I just dig a hole straight down. How low can you go? It puts the lotion on, or it gets the hose again. So, well, what watch are you wearing at the current moment, Clyde? I mean.
I'm wearing the Lejeune chronograph.
Why you gotta be anti-Semitic about it?
No,
or was that the au jus, like from roast beef?
No, Lejeune.
Once again, with the cracks, with the remarks. Think of your children, Clyde. Think of the children.
Well, look. At most, they're 1/8 offended.
Okay. Well, good to know. So Ocean Blue says that the gold sub will make Archie green with envy. I tend to agree, although I believe that Archie actually would be jealous of anything Rolex now in a manly watch.
Rolex.
Yeah, exactly. Because Archie only owns a ladies Rolex in 34 millimeters.
Well, you know why he owns ladies. Why he owns ladies Rolex, right?
The date watch, right? Try to attract women.
Well, yeah, but no, not just that. I think he probably has performance issues if she's not wearing a Rolex.
Well, you're starting to have the same problem in the bathroom unless you hear unless you hear the pontiff's voice.
That's true.
So, what's happening in my collection right now is slash and burn, sell. Now I've got
guys. Mark has an exciting new offer. Now he still has like a very pristine, complete set, 2-tone bluesy.
No. I gotta tell you something, Clyde. I know you're gonna spruik the bluesy for me, and I appreciate the thought. But here's what happens when you do that. People start to send me emails, and you should send me emails out there, people. markgoldberg8@gmail.com. Send your questions, send your comments, send stuff you'd like us to talk about, and we will do it for you. But don't email me to ask me.
Send your interesting pictures.
Well, what happens is, Clyde, they'll send a question and a comment about the bluesy. I'll answer it. And then they'll send another question and another question and another question. It's just annoying. You people are annoying. And I don't blame you. When I'm buying a watch, I am annoying. But I could tell you what I've learned selling the occasional watches. If you've got questions, think of them all and ask them all in one email. Otherwise, it's a circle jerk that just goes on. And so it's really irritating. So what my plan is...
I don't think it's limited to you buying a watch.
Well, it's annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a video featuring the watches that I have for sale. That way I won't need to send people all their special little pictures that they want. I'll put every piece of relevant information in the video, and it'll work like an unboxing, a review, a commentary on the nature of the watch. And then people can buy it or not, for the price that I put on it or not, because I'm putting good prices on my stuff.
And Mark, like I said, fair price. It's good price.
Yeah.
Mark is always about value added. So if you buy his Bluesy for his asking price, he'll throw in the Rancher mug.
No, I will. The Rancher mug, by the way, is very precious to me, Clyde. It's not the only one, but it is a very special one, because when I touch this, you are summoned like I dream of Genie. And
see what happens.
Well, I'm not going to do that, Clyde. I'm gonna treasure it. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna lick it the way the pontiff licks his Patek boxes. And guys, I want you to understand. You're seeing Clyde's avatar over there. It is. You're seeing, everything's opposite. You're seeing Clyde's avatar over there. The reason that you're seeing Clyde's avatar and that he never turns on his camera anymore is when I rub the mug, there's like a puff of smoke and he appears. Shit, I rubbed it, didn't I? God damn it. Hold on. I got to rub it again. There we go. Now I can get him back. Now, did you disappear because I rubbed it accidentally again?
Yeah.
I'm just testing the theory. Oh, God damn it. Okay, so I'll put it down now. But I want the people to understand. I want you guys out there in La La Land to envision right now. The reason that Clyde never turns on his camera anymore is when he appears in the I Dream of Genie Barbara Eden 2-piece bikini outfit with fringe. It's a blue brassiere, blue panties with gold fringe, and it's very sheer. And that's why Clyde can't turn on the camera anymore. He's full bore I Dream of Genie. Isn't that right, Clyde?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So I am slashing and burning, but it's a very rare punter who isn't going to have a bunch of questions. And look, I understand when you're buying something that costs $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, it's a lot of money, and you want to be careful. You want to be informed. You don't want to just, you don't want to be defrauded or nervous.
You want to get your money's worth, and you want to get them.
Absolutely. So believe me, I don't resent anybody who's got questions, concerns, wants to see pictures, ask questions. But from the perspective of the guy trying to, deal with this, well, remember, there's just a lot of people write and ask the same questions. So what I'm going to do is just make videos when I get a minute.
And just to save you asking Mark additional question, he will meld the mug along with the watch.
No, I'm not going to rub it because I don't want you disappearing again. But this thing is very beautiful and precious. Look, it's far from me. So I'm keeping this. You've been trying to bribe Satan's kitten to break it, but I don't think it's going to work. I keep it locked up in the vault. And you are not allowed to be friends with my boyfriend because I don't trust you two. I don't trust either one of you as far as I can throw you. But, there we have it. Clyde, we have a little bit of viewer mail that we should get to. But before we do that, let's just read a little bit of how much for my gold sub. Well, it's not for sale. Thank you for asking, though. Archie is rubbing Irix Guy. Well, that was fun listening to Archie and Irix Guy. That was always a pleasure. Mark, can we send you value watch collections for review? What do you mean by value watch collections? You mean mid-tier garbage? The answer is absolutely. I love that stuff. I mean, one of my favorite G-Shocks. You could send me anything for review, but I wouldn't send the actual watch because then we got to deal with shipping, and that's a pain in the butt. But, pictures, descriptions, thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Mark, I might have something to attend to here in about 15 minutes.
Is that something that you can't do while continuing to stream?
Well, I could, and I got to take it. Looks like I'll be receiving a telephone call.
Oh, no worries. There's Forbin Colossus with a pithy comment as always. Rub on, rub off the rubber. I recently realized. Excuse me, guys. I recently realized, Clyde, that you have one of your own mugs, and sometimes you appear on Archie when I'm not even on. So I'm thinking, do you actually have to rub your own mug so that you can go on Archie?
There can be limited exceptions to every rule.
How does the church feel about you touching your own mug in Like, anyway, don't know.
Mm.
This might fix the itch for a new sub. Well, it might. If you want a pre-ceramic, I have a 14060M and a 16613. Oh, let's see. Jason wants to know what I think about the Tudor Pelagos titanium everyday beater that has the blue ceramic bezel. Well, it just so happens that mine is in my watch winder. This is just an awesome watch. Everyday beater for some people at $3,500 to $4,000. It wouldn't be a beater; it would be a luxury buy. But
can you scoot over a little bit?
Yeah. Well, you want me centered?
I'm not sure how I feel about you being behind me.
Well, you should never put the link out like that, Clyde. I just zoomed in there and there we were. Anyway, so what do I think of the? I love it. I mean, it's no gold Rolex, but it is a beautiful tool watch. Really awesome.
Adrian with Bark and Jack put out a recent video.
Yeah, I saw it. It was a good job. He did a good job.
Yes.
But I have the owner experience here. And let me tell you, here's the deal. Titanium, I don't usually, and this actually, Adrian said this in his video. I don't usually like titanium because titanium watches tend to be just feather light. And therefore they just feel like plasticky to me, just too light. But this watch is substantial. I don't know how heavy it is, but it's probably, about 80, 90 grams. So it's not too light. It's, and also it's thick.
Isn't that the look of a soul?
It's thick. Yeah. Anyway, so what do I think of it? I think it's a fantastic watch. And yeah, you could wear it every day. And listen, guys, I'm going to let you hear the bezel on this thing. Listen. I don't know. Hopefully you can hear that. Let me tell you, it sounds like a machine gun. It's like, it's only a 60, it's a 60 click, but it's so definitive. It's very, very different from the Rolex. The Rolex is very fine and very refined. And this is like a rifle shot. The Rolex is like bubble wrap. Popping bubble wrap, and this is like rifle shots. Okay, I don't know how else to describe it, but two of the very best bezels in the business anywhere, I would say.
Not to mention the clasp, as Adrian.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, the clasp is not pretty. It's very industrial looking, but it's not real thick. The Grand Seiko clasp is like double the thickness of this to achieve the same goals and ends. Okay. But this includes a whole lot of micro adjustments. So yeah.
So you like it big, but not necessarily girthy.
Well, too girthy, and then it becomes top heavy and uncomfortable to wear. But because this is titanium, it stays relatively comfortable. Yeah. So let's see if there's anything else in here we need to talk about now. Because I don't do a whole lot of streams where we actually chit chat with the punters, but today would be the day. Forbidden spine is tingling from the bezel clicking. No wonder Archie was empty today. Well, that would have been the Irix effect, I'm thinking. I love how Irix guy was like, y'all don't understand. Okay, what you are about to hear is complete parody, and I love my fellow brethren YouTubers. What y'all, my name's Irix guy, and what y'all don't understand, hold on, I want to pick my teeth with something. Here we go, hold on a sec, because the spitting of the tobacco, what y'all don't understand is capitalism. Yeah, now I understand capitalism, and let me tell you how I do, because I was downsized, mofos. Y'all don't understand, but I do because I was downsized. Now, when I say I was downsized, the reality, what I'm trying to say is how you like my Zé Lacote. What I'm trying to say here is I was a drone. I was mid-level management for a company that fired my Southern fried ass. But now I own my own company. I have not one, but I have 2 YouTube channels, and I make my t-shirt merchandise. So you want to know about capitalism? I'll explain it all to you guys. Now, of course, I don't own YouTube, so they can give me a pay cut anytime I want. I don't manufacture t-shirts, so they can raise the price on me anytime I want. But hey, y'all don't understand capitalism like I do. I'm fixing to open a boiled peanut stand. Clyde, you ever have boiled peanuts?
No, I have not. But it's nice that Archie finally has a guest on who doesn't talk funny.
What do you guys think of my Irix guy impression? Like, was that a little unkind, or was
Mark, have you ever had peanuts and Coke?
Peanuts and Coke? No, but I've had boiled peanuts. Those are spicy, really good. Florida. It's a Florida thing. Is it? Georgia, Florida.
But peanuts and Coke, it has to be from the long traditional bottle.
Is that right?
It doesn't work that well in the can.
I see. But the stud feels another public apology. I haven't made any public apologies.
Now, also, do you like Mexican Coke?
David's Mexican Coke is great because it contains cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. David N. Thank you, David. David says I'm spot on. GB says I'm spot on. Well, what can you do? 2 YouTubes out of 1 trailer. That's how I roll. Well, look, truth be known, Irix guy has, like, I don't remember his full collection or what he had and when, but I remember he had a bunch of nice watches. So the man is far from destitute. He knows something about making some money. He does. That's the whole point of the parody there. Rob says it's spot on if I drive an Audi. David N. Spot on. Anyway, what can you do? Bless his little heart. You can narrate the Let Dogs Be Dogs with that voice. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do it. That's
of course.
I grew up with dogs, and my first was a Sheltie pup that I raised. I named him Gus. In some senses, Gus also raised me from the age of 11 to 29. Anyway, that's as far as I can go, I think. What do you think, Clyde? I don't mean to be unkind.
I like it.
All right, that's a good thing. Well, Clyde, I would like to get to a little bit of viewer mail, and we'll see. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Give me a second.
1001.
Mm-hmm.
1002.
Mm-hmm. At 5:53 this morning, Rich Buddy invited me to a live stream, like at 5 something in the morning. Damn.
If you would have come on, you would have pulled a Clive impersonation, probably. If you're up at that, because if you're up at that sort of that time of the morning,
I don't think I could do a Clive. I might need to be up that early in order to get the full baritone effect of a Clyde. Pre-ceramic sub prices. Hey, Mark, I have seen your latest video, and I was wondering what you were asking for your 16613 and 1406M Submariners. Looking for a gift for my husband for Christmas. This is from Maryland, and I've been looking around for a possible sub. Thanks for your time, Maryland. Well, I don't know. I haven't decided on the 14060M and 79 and 95 for the 16613 full set, but y'all going to need more information. I know that, so I'll make you a video. And I'll come up with a price for her.
And a lot of those early two-tones,
mm-hmm.
It's hard to find those with full set.
Yeah, because it's like, it's a 2000. It's a U series made in 2000. And so it's 20 years old. And people didn't, 20 years ago, people didn't save the box, especially the box and papers. It was like, just took up room and there didn't seem to be a point in it.
And some of the older boxes, the current ones, they have a little flap you pull down. You put the paper all inside and keep everything all nice and together, nice and safe and secure. Old ones, not so much.
Mm-hmm. True. Let's see. All kinds of stuff. I sold a couple of watches to David SW, and that went really well. So I don't know, guys, if you're if you bought a watch really right and you want to sell quick, fast, and easy, you can try them. David SW. All I can say is I did well on those sales, but when I'm selling a watch, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to price it like typically above what you would get from a dealer, because they need a lot of room. They need a big margin in a used watch, but I'm trying to sell it below what you would pay off of, like on average Chrono or eBay or something like that. So below retail, above dealer. I'm shooting for that middle ground. And that's why,
you'll left some meat on the bone.
I want to leave some meat on the bone so that a punter can buy the watch and feel good about it and get out of it in a couple of years, if you know, without losing your shorts if you want to.
Now, speaking about large meaty bones, you mean to post a link to this live stream in the comments?
This live stream? No, I do not. I thought you meant yours. Okay, here's something from Edwin. Okay, here we go. Thanks for all the videos, Edwin. I'm just getting going in my watch collection. I just purchased a Batgirl last week on the gray market, and I really want to get a Rolex Submariner next. Looking for your advice on which way to go. Eventually, I'll get both watches, but what order? I want to get the Kermit and the Hulk. So, boyfriend here got some money, and he's going fast, you know, because he just bought a Batgirl. Gray market. What are those? What's the Batman? Like, what is that, guys? Like 18, right? Around 18, I guess. 17, 18. And I want to get a Kermit and a Hulk. I know you're saying that they are going to discontinue the Hulk this year. This actually. Oh,
you've been putting off this email.
Well, he and I have been going back and forth since over the last several months. So I'll clue you in. But I've been sitting on this one since June. And if you, by the way, guys, if you had listened to me and bought a Hulk when I told you to, which was like around May, you paid $13,500 for it, and you just sold it yesterday for like $20,000. You made a quick $6,500 or $7,000. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, had you listened to me, approached your AD.
Oh yeah, you'd have had a Kermit.
Yeah, did you listen to me, or did you do that on your own?
No, I don't like the Kermit, so I didn't buy it. But here's the funny thing: if you would have just held you had two Kermits. And you sold both of them prematurely. That was what do we call that? Kermititis prematuris.
A little bit.
You shot a little green load, like they doubled since you sold them.
Oh well, no, literally. Wait. Let me check on Amazon. No, man, I'm trying to order some fucks off Amazon, but no, I just
you can't find any. Okay, so he just wanted to know whether to get a Kermit or a Hulk first. What did I tell him? I don't know. I might have ignored him. What did I say?
Now, John, I was asking thoughts on.
He bought the Hulk.
Nice.
So the next point was he wrote me just recently, just a few days ago. And he goes, Mark, I'm sitting here with my Hulk. I'm watching the prices take off. And I'm saying, wow, is this for real? In 3 months, my watch purchased from a flipper has gone up 50%. Great advice you have given. Because he took my advice to buy the Hulk. Because I wrote him back and I go, buy the Hulk, buy it right now. Because it was cheap at the time, I thought. Yeah. Of course, listen, the Hulk was priced at like, around $9,500. And by the time you got out of the AD, you were at like $10,000 when you paid the sales tax, right? So let's call the Hulk a $10,000 watch. And at the time, they were on the gray market, and they fluctuated all over the place. But at that moment, they were at $13,500, which was a premium of, let's call it $3,500 over retail plus sales tax. And the guys online were, they're not paying no $3,500 premium. This is baloney. And but I was like, no, buy it. If you want one, buy it now. Last chance. So he said in the 3 months since I purchased it, it's gone up 50%. Great advice that you have given. I can only imagine the price 5 years from now. Well, that's the thing. You don't know. It might not. You can't imagine it. It might continue to climb or it might decline in popularity. We don't know yet. My issue is I can't believe the Kermit has also taken off. That's the thing. He wanted both, right? What's the story here? I'm wondering where the Kermit is going to settle in a year or so. Lots of people say I can't see paying over retail for a watch, but that's the biggest bunch of smoke I've ever heard. Waiting on an AD is a game most are not going to win. If you buy a Rolex on the secondhand market, I don't see how you'll ever lose your money. Well, Edwin, you got to be careful, right? Yeah, be careful. Yeah, you've done well, but that's because I told you what to do and you did it. You got to be a little careful. Who's your recommended AD in the Chicagoland area?
Like I told you to from your AD, since you have all the connections. Imagine, geez, you could have bought a Kermit. That would have paid for your gold sub. You
talking to me? I didn't like the Kermit. So
it would have paid for your gold sub.
Yeah. But nobody knew what was going to happen. You didn't even know what was going to happen, or you'd have held it. You got lucky. Like, honest to God, though, like it.
No, your Kermit.
What did? Yeah. No, the Sermon I like. I want a Sermon. I want to keep a Sermon.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you also approach the dealer like right before.
I did. Okay. So Edwin says, who's your recommended AD in Chicagoland area? I'm in town for a few weeks and your recommendation may present an opportunity. Well, my authorized dealer is James & Sons in Orland Park, Illinois. And they have another couple locations, one in Chicago, one in Schererville, Indiana. My hookup, my guy, my buddy, my brother from another mother at James & Sons in Orland Park, Illinois is Brian. He is the manager, Brian Inglese. Call him up. Look, here's what when people ask me about where'd you get your sub and who do I call, I always say the same thing. You can call Brian at James & Sons. And here's the only thing I can guarantee you is that these guys will be nice to you. They will take you seriously and they will tell you what and when they can do something for you. And that is more than you will get, or at least more than I've gotten from most ADs. So
you've got a whole bunch of watches from him.
I have, but they were nice to me, but when I was a nobody to them, they were always good people there. And
hashtag gay market dealers.
That is something worth its weight. So what I would say is, guys, and Clyde, you know what? I've had probably 3 or 4 subscribers over the years call me and say that they called Brian, mentioned my name, and managed to score some Steel Sports. 3 or 4 of them over the last couple of years. And they had like 0 buying history with the store. So that's a nice thing to hear. So I don't know what they have. I don't know what they can do for you, but I know they will be nice to you. So that's James & Sons. Keep up the great video. Give my regards to your contact at the big Rolex house. Okay, sounds good. So what's going to happen to the Kermit, Clyde? That's what he really wants to know. Is that going to where's the Kermit now, and where's it going to settle in a year? Do I need to call it up on Chrono, or can you ballpark this for me?
Call up on Chrono. I'm a little curious myself.
All right. Well, let's see. I got to see how it works.
I think as everyone starts becoming as Sermongate, as people start becoming more and more unavailable, as more people are waiting in line, as there are gnashing of teeth and beating of breasts. By the way, don't beat on titties because that's wrong. But as those become more coveted, more unavailable, it's just like the pre-ceramic Pepsis. They'll continue to climb. They'll reach up. They will reach some point. Maybe I could almost see them going for ceramic Pepsi money. And maybe settling a little bit. 15 to 17.
All right, Clyde. What's the what? I need the reference for the Kermit. You know it? Let's just wing it. We'll just type in Kermit. It'll give us some results.
216610, I think.
Are we seeing this on the?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Someday, the Rainbow Connection.
Well, there's the Kermit. Let's see if we can filter this from. Sorry, guys, I'm really not good at this.
Hold on. Okay, Mark, I gotta take this.
Bye-bye. Come back when you can. All right. Well, let's have a look at this price. We're going to look at them from low to high. Let's see what we got here, fellas. Well, why are these guys so cheap? And they're in the United States, and they're from a verified dealer. Probably they don't have box and papers, but let's see if we can get a look. I would be very, very, very reluctant to buy a Kermit without papers. Yeah, here we go. No original papers. The reason that I would be super reluctant to buy, in that situation is, how do you know it's a Kermit? How do you know it's not just a regular sub onto which they have put a beat up green bezel that they got someplace, right? So that is the big deal. You need to see the papers to know that they have the LV in the serial number or in the reference number, to know that you have a proper actual Kermit, right? Okay, let's see this one, 12.2. Do we have box and papers on this? No original box, no original papers. Now, guys, ordinarily on a lot of watches, I don't care about box and papers that much. If I can get a good enough deal, on the gold sub, I would have bought this on the used market, no box, no papers, provided the price reflected that fact, right? No problem. But this is like never a Franken watch. It's either real or it's not real, but it's never half real. And you can't say the same about these guys with these green bezels. In some cases, these are just aftermarket bezels added, and how do you know? Some of them are. So I'm not saying that these are wrong, these watches, but I'm saying I wouldn't do it. I'll tell you another thing. I really like buying my watches out of the US. So let's see about if we can filter this for a location. I really just now, guys, I don't know about you, but I just really don't want to buy something out of Russia, or Turkey. I really rather buy it out of the US. Now there's 28 of them in the US. Here's those ones that we already looked at. Let's see where the leap is when we get up to box and papers. Because I think there's going to be a giant leap in price. No box, no papers on this one. How about this one? Probably not at that price. Who throws out box and papers? Well, I confess I did it on my first Rolex, which I bought in 87. Now we have a big leap. We go from 12.9 to 14.790. I think this might have it. Does it? No, it doesn't. We're at almost 15 grand there and no box, no papers. Personally, I wouldn't do it. Now I know in theory, depending on the watch and depending on the serial number, you might be able to get some authentication, or you might be able to send it to Rolex for service. And get service papers on it, and maybe they will be able to, to authenticate it for you. But it would just make me nervous. I wouldn't do it. I want original box, original papers, and here we have it. This is the first one that we found with original box, original papers. So that's good. I like it. How much? $14,990. Call it $15,000. Oh, it's already reserved, so that means it's been sold. Okay. But still, 15 grand. Wow, look at that. Here's one for 16. And original box, original papers. So what are they going to settle in at? Rolex goes up and down. Let me get rid of this, guys. Let's go back. Let me unshare that. I think we can be done. Let me make that go away. Stop that screen. Okay, we're back. So I don't know. I think I wouldn't hesitate to buy one that had box and papers, but I would avoid one otherwise. Cyber just put in a deposit on a 41 OP silver dial with yellow gold indices, 6,300 including taxes. Better price in the gray market. Yeah, that's because the new 41 OP has just literally hit the authorized dealer very, very recently. They're hard to get, so they're going to be more on the gray market than they are at the authorized dealer, but they're going to be harder to acquire, right, at the AD. And it's good that you put a deposit down, Cyber. Hopefully they'll be able to deliver you your watch soon. Personally, I would have avoided the silver dial only because it's real conservative and I'm a little bit more flamboyant, as you know. But I was never interested in the OP. At 39 millimeters. This is a good, solid entry-level watch, mind you, but it just never caught my fancy. It was kind of like boring three-hander in an oyster case. But when they went to 41 and threw those Stella dial colors on there, holy cow, that caught my attention. And I think Bruce Williams and we must have the same taste because he fell for the turquoise one. And I love that one also. That if I was getting it, I'd be really stuck. I think I'd go for the turquoise, but I also really like that bright orange red color. Looks like a blood orange, that particular color, which reminds me a little bit of the Doxa. I have a Doxa, but not handy. Reminds me a little bit of the Doxa. Okay, let me see what else is here in the comments. I'm going to tap dance because I don't have my Clydesy anymore. Here we go. Okay. So do I think that the new neon OP dials will fade or degrade? No, I don't know. They know how to make them now. So I think they'll last forever. But what a nice thought, to think of those aging and developing patina. The problem with Rolex these days is they have really absolutely learned their lesson on modern manufacturing techniques. They make very few mistakes anymore. So no, I don't think they're going to age at all. I think they'll be the same forever, which is why that I have sort of coined the phrase or come up with the idea that scratch is the new patina, because guys, I don't really think you're going to see the dials aging the way they, the dials and the bezels. I just don't think they're going to, age. So no, I don't think so. Richard wants to know if I would ever get a root beer. And well, first, I really like the root beer. Of all the GMTs, I really like it. It's available in two-tone and solid gold. Unless I miss my mark, most people when they refer to the root beer are talking to the two-tone variety. It's one of my favorite two-tones. My other favorite two-tone in Rolex is the two-tone Submariner with the blue, specifically with the blue face. But I'm not a big GMT guy. That's why probably the major reason I sold my Batman is I'm just not a real Batman lover. So the Miami Vice Styles, that's a good name for them. But instead, I am going for the blue sub. What are you talking about? Don't you have one of everything? I think you are talking, Bud, about the brand new one, right? Because that's the only thing you don't have is the super new. You just got the Hulk, so you don't think the green one will be there for you. Well, I think a blue sub is a thing of beauty. Two-tone or full gold, either. You can't go wrong either way. I sort of feel like the two-tone is a little bit of a bargain. I know that sounds crazy because it's expensive, but to go from the two-tone to the full gold, it's not double the price. It's like triple the price almost. So kind of crazy. Why? I don't know why. It should be double, not triple. Mark, please show the OP41 silver dial with yellow gold, blah, blah, blah. Okay, hold on. I'll do it. Give me a sec. I got to figure out how to make that work. Bear with. All right. I got to open a tab. Rolex. We're opening Rolex. Let me go back to StreamYard. We're going to share it. Share the screen. It is a Chrome tab. It is the Rolex. Okay. Now let me go back and make sure you're seeing it. You are indeed. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so now let's make sure you're seeing what I want you to see. Hold on. Sorry for the delay, guys. I'm awkward and new with the technology. Okay, so let's see. We want to go for the classic watches. Oh, here it is. New Oyster Perpetual. They make this thing in like 32 different sizes. The only one that I think is interesting is the 41. But they make a bunch of sizes for the ladies. Okay. So let's go to the 41. Oh, I think that's literally the watch you're talking about, isn't it? Let's have a peek. A peeky poo. Yeah, what do I think of it? I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, let's hit the configure button. Look, I find it to be very classic. We'll select the 41, and then we'll get the dial configurations here. Look, this is a very classic watch, but it's made to modern proportions. And look at that price. I mean, I hate to say that $5,900 is cheap, because $5,900 is a whole lot of money. Even for IRIX guy, that's a whole lot of money. Okay. But what you expect in Rolex for that is you'd have low expectations, because Rolex is so insanely expensive these days. So Rolex has set the bar so high that you would assume that for $6K, you were going to get bupkis from them. But instead, they've given us a watch, which if you were looking for a one and done three-hander that you could be proud of and say, it's a Rolex, it's waterproof, I can be very, very versatile with this watch. Well, it's a great choice. Wow. But it's conservative. I mean, look what happens to the character of it when we throw some color on there. Now, this is something that you could just absolutely wear. Of course, you could wear it to the beach, but it looks like it'd be more at home in the office. But when you put this one on, or this one on, oh my God, or this is the one that I'm nuts about, or that one. When you put any of those on, it's like, guys, just put on the shorts and head for the beach. Okay. If you're going to have this or that silver one that you've put the deposit on, you've got really the perfect watch. That just could be a one and done. Okay. A one and done. I don't feel that this is a smart one and done unless you own your own business or you're a musician. I don't know that you're going to walk around the office necessarily like that, but man, that is the one that I like. But I also like this one too. Now, you got to talk about that blue one for a second. It is gorgeous. The only reason that I probably would avoid that one, me myself, is I have a 116622 Yachtmaster with that, basically with that blue sunray dial, which I like very, very much. But I already have a watch with that blue sunray, and this gold Submariner has a blue sunray watch or dial also, right? So I kind of don't need that in the OP41, but that one, crazy, beautiful. I like it a lot. All right, let me make me and Clyde bigger. Clyde, you're not here, are you, though? I didn't think so.
Almost done.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, come back when you can. All right. I'm trying to click a button here so I can see what's happening in the comments. Bear with. Computer's frozen up a little bit. David N says Bud buys a watch every week, and Bud's got an amazing collection. I don't know if any of you guys are on the Archie Luxury WhatsApp group. If you're not, it's pretty fun. Mind you, it's a little difficult for me because there's an awful lot of Bob's and vagine, on that. It's like there's a lot of Grey's Anatomy on that thing. But nonetheless, Bud is on there showing off a new watch every day. And you know what? It's an interesting thing, watch collection, because no matter what you have, even if it's really good, someone else has got something that blows you out of the water. So one of the things that I have learned is that watch collection is it's an exercise in ego on the one hand, but humility, right, on the other hand. Because like I have what I think to be a very nice collection, and Bud blows me out of the water. And then there's this guy Damachine, who I think Damachine is his machine prints his own money, and I think he owns the local AD. He's a whale, right? So he's very good friends with the AD, and he gets everything, and he gets doubles and triples of everything. So whoever you are, someone's got something better. And it's not really about who's got the best collection. It's about within the universe that you live, making yourself happy. I mean, let me show you one of my favorite watches, guys. I should turn it correct side up. Clyde, you tell me when you're back. In the meantime, I'm going to make myself bigger. Hold on. One of my favorite watches. Casio Royale. Just look on Amazon for the Casio Royale. Yeah, we could look it up together. Hang on, guys. We shall look it together. Add you to the stream. There we are. And now we're going to go back to you, and we're going to go to Amazon. And we're going to look at the Casio Royale. I don't really know what it's called, but that'll find it. Here it is. In all its various permutations. This is my favorite one. Look at this. It is not even $30. It's $28.92. So guys, if you are looking to buy a watch to just knock around it, it's got a 10-year battery. It's got 5 or 6 time zones, all kinds of time zones. It's super easy to adjust once you kind of get used to how the module works. What's interesting is you see the map there. Whatever time zone you're set in is going to be sort of highlighted on the map. So what is that? Like Australasia, I think is what it's showing there. But when I have my home time zone showing, it's like the central US. It's got a light, and the battery lasts for 10 years. It's like insane. And that upper left-hand circular dial is, it's kind of useless, but it's fun to look at. It's virtual hands, minute, hour, and second hands. So, oh my God, this is as much fun with a watch as you can humanly have for the money. And let me get out of there real quick and look. I'm looking for the water resistance because I can't remember if it's 100 meters or 200. but it's got like just nutsy cuckoo amount
Okay,
of.
Mother, I'm back.
Yay. Well, let's call it 100 meters because that's what I think this is. I was just showing the guys you can own a $30,000 watch, and if you do, good on you. But that doesn't make you a better person. And
It kind of does.
no, it doesn't. And not only that, but somebody owns something that makes your $30,000 watch look like a piece of dreck, okay? Because they own a Zeitwerk minute repeater for $500,000. I mean, so I do like watches, but I try and keep a little bit of perspective. And one of the things that keeps me humble is just keep a gorgeous $30. And when I get like I did that interview with Jeff McMahon today, and what I told him was when I get overdone, overcooked, when I'm exhausted from watches, I will wear this for one solid week without taking it off. I shower with it, sleep with it, I do everything with it. I never take it off. I put away everything else, and a week later I'm cured, and then I can slowly go back to rotating other watches. But at least I'm wearing something fun. Rich buddy, you invited me to your stream at like 5 a.m. Thank you for the compliment. There is no Patek that I would like more than this sub, with one possible exception. Clyde, do you know that pilot's watch that I like?
Get a fucking Zenith.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. Oh, you're wanting to kind of keep it family friendly, right?
No, I'm talking about it's the Zenith. There's no Zenith that I love that much.
I'm serious. The pilot watch, Zenith makes one. Zenith came out with that long before Patek Philippe did. Every time I see one of those, one of my favorite taunts is, "Hey, nice Zenith."
Are you talking about the one with the second hour hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't seen it in the Zenith, but I've seen it in the Patek, and I like it a lot. But it's a $50,000 watch on a strap, and this is on a 18-karat gold bracelet. So, I don't know. I'm not Patek Philippe, Aldi Mal, Piguet, Vacheron, et Constantin. Clyde, you own the Holy Trilogy. Does it make you happy?
Yes, it does.
Nice.
Also, keep in mind, Zenith made that watch first.
Rich Buddy is arguing with me. He says there isn't anything better out there than a $30,000 Rolex. Well, there is. There's a $100,000 Rolex. Isn't that better? The Rainbow Daytona. I mean, that's a hell of a watch. That's a lot of gemstones there.
Well, and what I think he's trying to do is that, let's be honest, you can't objectify that statement, Rich.
Vacheron et Constantin.
But well, actually, Rich and I was actually talking about your gold sub. Show us your gold sub again. Basically, but one of the things we were talking about though is it's possible to spend $30,000 or more on a higher tiered brand with more, a little higher up the chronological food chain. More complications, more panache. But
I like a good panache. I usually get those at Starbucks.
Well, no, that's actually panache is more of a Czech breakfast cookie. But on the other hand, the gold sub, that is a lot of craftsmanship in that one. It does have a certain get the fuck out of my way factor to it. And on top of that, you have Rolex reliability. Now, you could get like a FP Journe or something like Rich Buddy wants to. And the FP Journe is going to be more than that sub. But when there has to be a service involved, you're going to be smiling, but he's going to be the one getting fisted.
Now, is the Omega Flightmaster the ultimate pilot's watch, Clyde? Because I do have this one.
I have that one too, Mother, except my bracelet's not screwed up.
And my bracelet's screwed up. Well, I'm missing one end cap to a link, so I have it on leather. Weirdly, I like it better on the leather, and I don't usually, but I do because the bracelet is jingly jangly. But I do have
the last edition, but it's also the Cadium, so it's the one was actually especially made for pilots.
I can't believe they want 6,000 for this. I think I paid 1,800 for mine.
I paid about 25 for mine.
Yeah, you have a really nice example. I believe I have a replacement case back. So, that's the same one, I think. Here's just a different view. Really cool though. It is a very cool watch. And for its age, which is like 69, 70, 71, it's big. It's like 41, 42, big and thick, cut out of a solid, block of 70s steel. It's a cool thing. I do like it a lot. Well, Clydesy, we've been at it for 55 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Let me just see real quick. Oh, here's a question. RJ Lane wants to know if we'd ever get a 42 millimeter black Yachtmaster. I think he means the black ceramic bezel.
Possibly, yeah. Probably. That'd be precious metal, though, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's a steel one coming. They didn't introduce that this year, did they, Clyde?
No, they did not.
So in theory, that means it'll be coming out next year. All right. Here we have another question. That's a very long question, so it'll take us a minute to. Oh God, Bernardo, you wrote me a novel, but we'll see what we can do here.
I'm going to mute myself again real quick, but unless you want to talk like Archie.
Are you streaming? No, you can unmute yourself when you're done. Hi, Mark. Hope all is well. I don't know a lot of watch enthusiasts to discuss watches and ask advice. Well, you have us, Bernardo. We are your therapeutic support group.
Would you mind talking like Archie for a second while I'm doing it?
Hello, how are you? Life is hard, fuckers. Send money. I need scotch. I'm feeling fat. I'm rebooting the weight loss program. Okay. The kids, they just, the house is a pigsty. Drugs. I need a service provider. I give shampoo. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. That did it? Okay. Yeah. Because Clyde needs actual proper stimulation in order to go now. If you could provide your opinion, it's much appreciated. The watch I wanted from the start was the Rolex Submariner 16610. What is that, Clyde? It's a sub, isn't it?
Sub date. Like the one you actually own.
No, I own a 16040M and a 16610.
What was that? I thought you said 16610.
I did, but that's going to be a ceramic, isn't it?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Could not afford it in 2000.
16610 is pre-ceramic. 16610 is ceramic.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Anyway, it's a pre-ceramic. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. And I don't have one. Could not afford it in 2002 when, with a few savings, I got the Omega Speedmaster reduced that I wore every day. In 2009, I had the opportunity to buy the sub 16610, but instead I got the Rolex Explorer 36 millimeter. I think there's a self-conscious issue. Well, I don't know. You didn't tell me which one you bought, but I wouldn't have done that. At this point, I could buy the 16610, but I was sold on the Explorer being under the radar. It did not scratch the itch. You just keep, Bernardo, every time you want to buy that sub, you buy something else and then you're sorry. That's what you repeatedly have done here. It did not scratch the itch. And in 2011, if you want a redhead, stop goofing around with the blondes and the brunettes and the brown. Just go get your redhead.
Unless they have big tits.
It did not scratch the itch. And in 2011, I got the Explorer 2 on the wrist presence satisfaction scale. The sub was then discontinued. Well, that sub was discontinued, a long time ago, had 12 years ago. And I didn't like the fat lugs of the 16610, which that's the one I have, Clyde. 2018, I start to explore the online watch community, YouTube, Chrono 24, to find the old sub available, but with high premiums. Dude, you need therapy. You don't need watch advice. You need therapy. Okay? Because you have been in self-abnegation, self-denial, that sub has been the whip with which you have flagellated yourself, sir, for like a decade and a half now. But it has high premiums. I get Longines, Sin, and the Black Bay 58 that I thought would clear the sub fixation. You're complaining about the price of the sub, but you have bought so much garbage, crap, and filler that you could have bought 2 of those subs. If you'd have just bought them instead of all the other things, trying to fill the gaping empty void in your psyche where your mother didn't love you enough. Bernardo, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be harsh with you, but somebody needs to give you a reality check.
Now, if you would like Mark to help you fill your empty gaping void, please send pictures to markgoldberg8@gmail.com.
Early this year, I'm probably going to have to make a public apology after this, right? Early this year, after seeing that the prices on the sub didn't drop, well, why would they drop? And before the new released increases, I bought an 09 box and papers. Thank God. I'm so happy now. I bought an 09 box and papers on Chrono for 10,000 pounds. Jesus. Almost double retail of 2009. So apparently he's in the UK because he's quoting pounds. I bought new old stock to ensure that first owner thrill. You are writing to me after you ate a box of ground glass and asking me if it's going to be okay. And the answer is no. It's not going to be okay. You should have called me when you opened the box of ground glass and you were contemplating taking that first big bloody spoonful and ask me, is this going to shred my intestines and my gallbladder? Am I going to poop out my liver? And the answer is yes, you are. But you're asking me after, not before. Oh, my God. New old stock. Like, why would you just don't, guys, learn from this. Learn from Bernardo. Don't buy new old stock. Buy lovingly, gently used. He would have paid half of that. What a sucker. You paid double what you should have for the new old stock. That's nuts. The issues are the following. Well, now we're getting down to the issues. Believe me, I think the issues are all previous, not following. But here we are. I thought about selling a few watches to justify.
Let me interject.
Whoa. Yeah.
I think you should stop reading the email and then charge Bernardo $100 to continue because obviously this man hates his money.
You know what? We got to do it for the punters. We're deep. We are fist deep, inside Bernardo's psychology. And I think the punters in the peanut gallery want to know how it ends, right? So I feel like it's a cliffhanger and we got to keep going. I thought about selling a few watches to justify getting the sub, but then I got attached to them, the experiences with them and how they bring diversity to the collection. Or did you forget about the fact that they were all like substitutes for breastfeeding? Because you were never breastfed, you bought all those. I would slash and burn, my friend. But you're attached to them now. I wanted to sell, not to restore the funds, but to keep a short, sane, wearable collection.
Fuck.
Okay, well, circle jerk. We started with I want a sub, but I didn't buy a sub. I wanted a sub, so I bought 20 other watches, and then I finally bought the sub, and then I want to sell the 20 other watches. But you know what? I can't bear to do it. Circle jerk, mental circle masturbation here. As I bought the sub, new old stock, which is such a farce, you pay so much extra for that, and it's not worth it. New owner thrill on a 20-year-old item.
In other words, they saw me coming a mile off
and just greased themselves up. I can't clear the idea that it was a whim, and I can't remove the stickers and start wearing the watch. Oh my God! So after 20 years of wanting the watch and paying out the ass, he can't de-sticker and wear it, Clyde. Yeah. It must be the notion that if I was not perceptive enough to buy it at retail when I had the opportunity, now I can't excuse buying it at this price. This is the watch that I wanted from the start, but now there is a whole collection behind it. What would you do, Bernardo? Clyde, I'm going to tell Bernardo what to do right now. Peel those fucking stickers off that fucking watch that you fucking pay double for and fucking wear it and enjoy it.
How much did he pay?
20,000 pounds. Jesus
Christ. Well, okay.
20,000. Ask Alexa. How much is that in real money, Clyde? Ask Alexa.
How recently did he buy it?
This is pretty, well, as far as I could tell. Ask Alexa, how much is 20,000 pounds? And I'll look.
Alexa, convert 20,000 British pounds to US dollars.
20,000 pounds is 25,630.
Holy fuck!
Early this year, Clyde. You're talking early 2020. So recently, like 6 months ago. 6, 7 months ago. So,
20 minutes.
Bernardo, man, just peel you overpaid for the watch. You're never going to get your money out of it unless you wait for like 50, 60 years. So what I would do is I would wear it. I would enjoy it. And any watch you don't have in your collection that you don't wear with any regularity, just sell them off. See if you can recoup a little bit of the loss. And what you should do, I know I was hard on you, Bernardo, but this was what I would call a little bit of tough love. You've made all the mistakes and then asked for absolution, but there is no absolution for you. There is only a learning curve so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. So you are in a very unhealthy mental loop. I recommend that you watch my interview with Jeff McMahon from earlier today so that we can talk to you about watch affliction and how you can learn to break the habit, to move forward, to clean up your garden, pull the weeds out of the garden that is your collection. And did you overpay for that sub? Criminally overpaid for it. But now you're going to leave it a safe queen? Nah. Peel it. Wear it. Feel the steel. Enjoy it. The only absolution you are going to get is from making love in that watch. Not that you're not an incel or something, because, I suspect you might be. But nonetheless, I think you should shower with it, bathe in it, swim in it. I think you should go for your lonely fish and chips in it. I think that you should live in that watch. And you know what? Actually, you got some money here. You've been spending wild amounts of money. I don't think you've been smart with your money, but you got some wild amounts of money that you've put into watches now. So enjoy it. Don't worry about it.
On the other hand, he didn't pay Archie for a paid watch review.
Well, he didn't say that. So I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Anyway, all I could say is just start over. Enjoy the watches, peel the stickers off. And at this point, what can you do? Okay, guys. Well, that's the sad tale of Bernardo, who overpaid and is now afraid to wear his watch. I do have a bit of sympathy. Okay. Because it's soft, right? So if I bang it around, I'm going to mark it up. And so what I'm not going to do with it is I'm not going to garden in it. I'm not going to dig in cow manure. I'm not going to shovel holes. I'm not going to work in the dog kennel with it because, I bang around metal. But I'm going to wear it. What is the point of owning it if you don't wear it?
No, I think about that. Now, because the only problem with wearing the dog kennels is that basically the kennels are made out of steel. Now, if you were to get gold kennels.
Gold on gold crime. Clyde, the amazing thing is this cost more. I mean, obviously I spent more for... Thank you. I'll get to it. I spent more for this than he did for that sub, but not that much more. I mean, he was close. He was close to this on what he spent for a 20-year-old stickered new old stock watch that maybe was new old stock, or maybe it was just nicely, buffed up and re-stickered. I don't know. I have suspicions.
Now what? Okay, so it's a 16610. Mm-hmm. What year was it? Do we know?
No, we don't know.
Yeah, that's
Brit Head, $5. Hi, Mark. I just clicked on your YouTube to watch videos on the new Rolex OPs. What do you guys think about the 2020 41 millimeter? My local AD is taking deposits. Well, Brit, you must have tuned in recently because we literally were showing those watches. So just a few minutes ago, here's the Clyde, you were on a phone call, so I'm going to interview you in a second, Clyde. But my opinion is I love them. And I never liked the 39s, but the 41s are spectacular, especially in the new color collections and in the new colorways. And I would not hesitate to put down a deposit on one of those. You can't lose money. And they're they're so shit spanking new right now that if you get tired of it any time in the first year, you will not only get all your money back, but probably more besides.
No, actually, someone sent me a picture of the one in the Cartier blue 41.
Yeah. I showed that while you were on the phone. It's nice. Okay. It's very pretty.
The actual wrist picture?
No, I'm just saying we saw it on the Rolex.
Oh.
But the point here is that I was answering a question for another gentleman who asked about the same concept, but what he was mentioning was he saw one on Jazz Time, which is a gray market seller, and he saw it for around, I think, $8,000. So now, there's a premium.
Do they sell only complete watches on Jazz Time, or do they also sell watch parts?
You're gonna have to say that again. I missed it.
Okay, do they only on Jazz Time? Do they only sell complete watches, or do they also sell watch parts?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just watches. Why?
Because I was hoping to be
Jazz
able
hands. I saw you. I saw where you were going from a mile away, Clyde. You can't fool me. Dicer says, "Oh my God, I have that same sub, the 14060M. Bought it 4 years ago for 4,400. Yeah, they've gone up. I don't know exactly what they are now. Let's take a look because I got to sell one. So let's take a look.
I'll look and watch Recon.
Well, hold on. I'm going to look on Chrono just for fun. So let me look it up on Chrono, just because it's too easy there. All right, let's have a peek. And let's sort this by low to high. And holy cow, even the cheap ones are not cheap. And I'm sure these are not box and papers. So $7,500, probably no box and papers. I don't have box and papers for mine either. Yeah, no box, no papers. Dang. Well,
okay.
Well, they have.
You know how many are on Watch Time or on Watch Recon?
No, probably a lot. It's a pretty common watch, I think.
What? No, they only have one for $9,000, right? And it's sold.
Wow, that's nuts. But was it box and papers, Clyde? Do you even know? That sounds like a box and papers set up. You know, price.
Well, yeah. M serial, 4-liner.
Well, that's not a 4-liner is not a 2-line no date though.
That's true. It's just a no date.
Yeah. So these are a little bit cheaper than that, but no, mine is naked too. So I don't know. They start at $7,500. Crazy. I'm glad I held it all. I wanted to sell it a long time ago, and you yelled at me. You wouldn't let me do it. And
who yelled at you?
You did.
For what?
For thinking about selling my 14060M. Had I sold it when I wanted to, I would have sold it for right around $4,900. But now they're like $8,000, something like that. Corbin, can you pull up an ice blue? Oh, those are gorgeous. Wow. They're not the same. I don't know how to pull them up and compare them, Forbin, but they're not the same. The turquoise is a brighter, stronger color. The Platona. We'll take a look at the Platona. Let's do that. I don't know if I can find it here easy, but I shall try. Rolex Platinum Daytona. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. See, it's a softer, gentler color than that OP.
Now, someone I met him along with when I met Vingtinier down in Dallas last year. I think it was last year. But picked up.
I forgot to show it. Hold on, let me show it. There we go. Yeah. Wait, I'm showing the wrong one. Give me a second. I'll make it work. Share screen, Chrome, tab, this one. Sorry, guys. I thought you were seeing it. Now you're seeing it. Okay. So that is a softer, gentler blue than that strong, bright turquoise, which I will endeavor to show you, but it's going to take me a minute to get to it. So hold that thought. And now let's go find that OP. Every time I go on the Rolex website, it works. It runs very, very slow. I just think there are a ton of people hitting it at all times lately. It just runs super duper slow.
That's a 4-line, yeah, and I think the 2-line. Of course, yours isn't box and papers, but still.
Yeah, but even with no box and paper one, the cheapest one was $7,500. I mean, Forbin, it's a little bit similar, yeah, but it's I can't pull them up side by side, but it's a bit different. It's not quite the same shade, same family, different shade. I think.
Let me send you a picture real quick, Mother.
Of what? What are you sending me?
It's not what I received on my live stream. I'll put it that way.
Well, I don't know what you're sending me though.
Well, you'll know when I said that.
All right, you go ahead. Rich Buddy is waiting for a panda. Me too, Rich Buddy. I'm on a list, but it's hard, fuckers. It's hard. It's it's slow. It's a pretty hard to get watch. All right, let's see what you sent me there, Clydesy. Oh man, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it though? Isn't it?
Whose wrist shot is that though? Because what is that zoot suit he's wearing?
I'm trying to figure. I'm going to give him shit about that later on.
Who is that?
Do you want to put the picture up on?
Yeah. All right, hold on. I shall do so. This is the picture that Clyde sent me. A little hard to get it zeroed in there. I don't know why. Why is it so hot, Clyde? Like, look at the suit.
Yeah.
It's a little wild, a little loud. I don't know who is that?
It's a lady boy.
Okay. Well, I did try on. Have you ever tried on a platinum Rolex, Clydesy?
No, I've not. Oh, yes, I have. The Cellini.
A Cellini platinum, that would have been on a leather strap, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a chunky little monkey even on the strap though.
It would have been. My AD let me try on a platinum day date in 40 millimeters of platinum, and it was shockingly heavy.
Detroit, you know the rules. If you want a platinum Daytona, you first have to run over a two-tone with farm machinery.
Well, it's true. You're talking now about the Port Hisham. It was the eye. Your eyes look at it, and you know something about metals and physics and gravity and stuff. So you look at an object, and you assume what its relative weight is going to be based on X number of years on the planet and picking stuff up. And but when I picked this thing up, when he put it in my hands, I was like this, like I wasn't prepared for the weight of it, because like the day date, it's like it's a refined looking watch, 40 millimeters, it's not enormous, but it must have been like maybe 300 grams, and this is only 220 grams, 221 for reference.
No, David N has a good question.
Does he?
Yes. How big? No, sorry. Is the 2 line worth more than the 4 line?
I think so. No, the 4 line is, I don't know, Clyde. What do you think? You tell me. I think that 4 line you said was sold for $99,000, $9,500.
Complete kit though. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's a 10460M. The difference between the 2 line and the 4 line is that Rolex finally quit becoming a bunch of cheap asses and sent those subs off for COSC.
Good point.
It's the same movement in both, but a lot of people like the 2 line because it's more evocative of the classic classic Submariner.
Yeah, they didn't. You're right. They didn't pay for COSC certification, and that cut a line or two off the text because they didn't have to brag all about it. Craziness.
Yeah. So some people like some people like this, knowing it's like, well, okay, my watch is certified, though keep in mind it was made like 40 years ago. People like the more classic. It harkens back to an earlier time.
Is there anything you wanted to cover, Clyde, before I start to wrap us up here a little bit? That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm just a little.
It's been a long day, hasn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, here's the subject I think that we should prepare for, maybe for another live with Clive that we can do soon. And that is, I've had an awful lot of commentary about the gold sub, both positive and negative. So I think what we can do is kind of comb through the comments. Some of them are mean, vicious, vinyl, and nasty, and some of them are really funny. But we could take a look at those comments and sort of talk through what the punters think of my decision to buy.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Cyber. Okay, now I'm realizing who you are, Cyber. Cyber actually just picked up. Yeah. And with Vington, the other guy, sorry, I forgot his name. I pulled the trigger on my first luxury watch. Okay, Cyber. Cyber actually got the OP36
white dial with gold hands and indices. And I
Mm.
think you sent me a couple of pictures. That's a great looking watch.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a yawner. I would have liked the 39 better and the 41 even more, but it certainly is a classic watch. Rich L had a mint 2-liner. That's the 140, right? And was
Yep.
the original owner, and I sold it. Well, yes, it's a big mistake, but gosh, here's the thing. It kind of depends on what did you do next. Did you put the funds into a car that, became a depreciating asset, or did you buy a different Rolex with it? I mean, yeah, you sold a future classic, but you didn't know. It's just good to churn the collection, to turn over the soil, to refresh the collection once in a while.
Okay. Let me take a shot at this. Okay, Rich,
Yeah.
did you only miss that watch when you realized, holy shit, I could have sold it for a lot more? Now, if you had anxiety pains, if your heart ached every day, like losing a lover or a child or something like that, as soon as you got rid of it, then yeah. But if all you're doing is just saying, "Oh shit, I could have got more for the watch had I waited," hindsight's 20/20.
That's the problem. I mean, I sold a. Oh my God, I don't really like the steel Daytona with the steel bezel. Okay, just don't care for it too much. So I had one.
Oh, there's another punter. Hey, Mark.
Who are you talking to?
Mark is the other fellow from Dallas.
I see. Well, you guys can carry on your homo club after the stream ends, but I had one of those, and guys, I'm going to fess up what I sold it for. I sold a steel bezeled Daytona for $8,000. Okay. What are those now? Like 16?
Okay. So what?
Well, it just goes to show you really never fully know, and there's no way to really ever completely know what's going to happen. So,
were you out of love with the watch when you sold it? And at the time, did you got what you considered to be?
Yeah, you know what I did? I rolled it into a James Cameron, which I still have and I liked better, and I still do, which I think is another future classic. So
and you got rid of that watch because you didn't like the watch.
That's right.
Like it for its intended purpose.
That's right. Well, what I think is, though, long term, watch collecting can become a very expensive habit naturally. So my tactic is, at this stage, I don't want to put in new money. I just want to recycle the old money. So I want to liquidate stuff to buy new stuff when I feel like it's time to switch it up. But for that to work, you have to either buy low and sell high, or sell for, recoup your investment. Don't lose money. And this is why it's so important to be careful with your purchases and not lose money, because there will come a point in your collecting life when you realize, I shouldn't invest new money. What I should do is reuse the old money. And in order for that to work, you need to be able to liquidate without losing 20, 30% of your value. So
now did your taste change, or did you give into the hype on the Daytona?
They put a I mean, that's a valid question, but I think my major objection to that watch was the steel bezel was very easy to scratch, and it sort of disappeared to the eye because it just blended in with the whole watch. And the ceramic bezel gives it a whole lot more wrist presence.
Then you went later on and you bought an Explorer too.
And well, my tastes did also eventually start to downsize, because what I did for a while there, Clyde, was I bought all the really big Rolex. Like after I got rid of that original Daytona, I bought everything Rolex had that was big. But then the pendulum began to swing back, and I found some of them unwearably big and heavy.
Mm.
And now I'm admiring things like the Yachtmaster that I own, which is built a lot more like a Daytona than a sub.
So was that the onset of osteoporosis when you decided to swing back from the bigger Rolexes?
Well, I'll tell you, funny you should mention, because there is such a thing as wrist fatigue. If you wear something heavy by halfway into your day or by the end of your day, you just want to rip it the hell off, and rest the arm.
Mark, it's a weekend. It's a weekend. I'm appearing on like 2 or 3 watch channels. Mm-hmm. I know all about wrist fatigue.
I think they're referring completely to another subject entirely. But I'm talking about the horological variety of wrist fatigue. So the fact that the Daytona is a little more petite, I think, is more appealing to me at like this stage in my collecting career. I believe that I'm going to like the ceramic bezel better than I did the steel bezel. And here's the thing with the hype. Here's the thing with the hype. The hype gives me the courage to buy it at retail, because if I don't like it, I'm not a flipper. I would never do that to my AD, buy something and then just like flip it out. It's just stupid. But what I feel like is if I wear it and a couple of years later, I just don't love it and it's time to recycle it, I'll be able to get my money and then some out of it. So it gives me the courage to go ahead and try it. But I like the look of it a lot better than the previous version. The same way with the Submariner. I love these ceramic subs. I just didn't love the pre-ceramic ones. So when they build them a little more robust, catches my eye. I'll tell you what though, Rolex is here's what we can sum up on. Rolex has pissed off almost every collector. And they really have. And here's the thing, when we talk about Rolex and we say the word Rolex, it means many, many different things to many people. But because it's like a many-headed snake. Is Rolex an authorized dealer? Is Rolex the gray market? Is Rolex a manufacturer? Are they a distributor? Are they a jewelry store? I mean, what the hell is Rolex? Are they a brand? So we kind of have to understand that Rolex is a manufacturer based in Geneva, Switzerland, and it's different than any other manufacturer of watches that you could possibly think of, because it's not privately held like Breitling, held by a private investment trust. It's not publicly held like the Swatch Group, which you could buy stock shares in if you wanted to, or Richemont. These are publicly held companies. It's not privately held by a family the way Patek Philippe is held by a single family. It is owned by its own charitable foundation, and it is run by a board of directors that are beholden to nobody except for whatever minimal reporting requirements the Swiss government has. And the Swiss invented financial secrecy and layers of bureaucracy. So Rolex is a different kind of an animal. They don't have to report their sales figures to anybody. They don't have to tell anybody what they're doing with the profits.
It's amazing when you think about it, how Hans Wilsdorf basically laid all the foundations for Rolex to be the juggernaut it is today.
Yeah, what an amazing guy.
Yeah, if his wife had been like fertile or not,
yeah, it'd be a different story. Or maybe he'd have screwed the kids. I don't know how that worked, but what it is now is its own animal, and not only that, it's run by very smart people who
evil people.
Well, here's why we think of them as evil. First, it's a manufacturer. The manufacturer sells to distributors. And the nature of those distributors depends a lot on what part of the world you're in and what country you're in, right? So in North America, for example, the authorized dealers, these are companies that just have distribution contracts with Rolex, but they fall into a couple different categories. You have like mom and pop shop.
You have cunty and very cunty.
No, it's not fair, Clyde. You have mom and pop shops who, have like 2-3 generations of running a single store or a chain of 2 or 3. And they have to be very careful with Rolex because that's going to be the flagship line that they own. And then you have corporately owned chains that may own 10, 15 stores. And those are run in a very corporate manner. And they will run their stores very, very differently. And then when you get into Asia, there seems to be sort of like the expectation that you could just wantonly sell them out the back door with absolutely no fear of what Rolex might do. Whereas I know in North America, family-owned jewelry stores are very careful with what they do with Rolex, because Rolex they'll cut them at the drop of a hat. North America lost like 150 Rolex contracts in something like the last year and a half. They cut a lot of ADs out and consolidated them. And
here locally, there was a prominent jeweler called Samuel Gordon, and they pulled some shenanigans, got caught by Rolex, got their contract pulled and they folded.
Yeah, because it can be a profitable line to carry, but you are required to devote a whole lot of your square footage and your advertising budget to Rolex. There's like a lot of rules. Anyway, what I guess here when I say Rolex is pissed off the collector, they have, and I think by and large the major responsible parties are the Geneva, Switzerland manufacturing company, who devised their marketing and sales strategies, and they determine what authorized dealers get how much stock. And what they've done is, in the average decade, they will spend $1 billion with a B as in oh baby dollars on marketing to create the demand, and then they'll manipulate the supply to run the prices up and to create exclusivity. And the sad fact is that the people who love the brand the most, which is collectors like us, we love. Who loves the brand more than people who will stay up into the middle of the night talking about watches, thinking about watches, trading watches, writing about watches, photographing their watches wherever we go? I mean, you might not have any pictures of your dog or even your kid or your grandkid without a Rolex in the, in the foreground. And who does that but collectors? We love the brand, but we are not the target market. They don't really care what you think, because the average human being on earth does not want 5, 10, 15 of them used. That's us. They don't care about used watches. They care about new. So their target audience is the guy who will buy 1 or 2 in a lifetime. And they want all of those people, all of them. And now with the OP, Clyde, do you think they're shooting for buy them all, mix and match, own every color?
Possibly, or just to draw people into the brand. I think they'll, if they're halfway available, people will come in, and of course, the bright colors will attract people to them. Let's be honest about that.
I mean, listen, I'm an old guy, but to me, that set of OPs it has millennial all over it. Like, I feel like they're trying to bring in the millennial generation into Rolex with that entry level price and those bold, fun, carefree colors.
Right.
Crazy. But yeah, the people who love the brand the most, we are not so much on the radar as the target customer. So they don't worry what we think. They don't care.
The OP39s, basically, they're now selling for like $9,000, $9,500. They're selling for what the subs used to sell.
Isn't that crazy? And that was a very unloved watch. It was an unloved watch. Well, Mark T says the magpie effect, which I believe is sort of like a British, sounds English
bright
to
and
me.
shiny.
Yeah, because it's just the new, the bright, the shiny, and I don't dispute that. But really,
here's the funny thing. I've had so many people talk to me, and they basically say it's amateurish. It is devaluing the brand. It's a stupid concept. But goddamn, I love that one color though.
Well, it's so smart, because Rolex has been so conservative. I mean, the wildest thing they did was mix gold paint, into their green Hulk and their bluesy, dials to create a dynamic, color shift, right? But now what they've done is they've introduced a watch under the $6,000 price point with, mix them and match them, collect them all, kids. Really strong colors, which ironically, we're talking like they're brand spanking new, but they just resurrected the 70s Stella dials that they threw on day dates back in the day and couldn't sell them then.
Well, you remember actually last year they sued the California company, the Californian.
What was that all about?
Well, the thing is, though, what they were doing is they were taking aftermarket dials and for Datejust and just putting these bold, brilliant, bright colors on them. And Rolex sued them, said, you're selling counterfeit watches. You're devaluing the brand. And everyone's like, well, anyone that knows anything about Rolex is going to know that's not an authentic Rolex dial, for fuck's sake. They're going to know that's aftermarket.
And then they went and made their own, right?
Yep. And the thing is, though, let's face it, they can pretty much do what they want to, and people are still going to line up.
Rich L has brought up a good point. He says, I'm shocked just how high the first gen ceramic subs are now trading for. I damn near sold mine because out of boredom. But then when they discontinued it, I fell in love again. The magpie effect, I guess.
But the discontinued models
Mm.
are now selling for like basically 50% over MSRP.
Well,
Just
let's take a quick peek. Give me a second, and let me figure out how to share that over. Okay, so now we're gonna go back, and we're gonna get out of that. We're gonna go back to Chrono. Light, I'm gonna need the reference number, because if I put Submariner, they'll all come up.
2166. Wait.
No, the first gen 11
6610.
Okay, and we'll look at the LN Lunette Noir. That's just the regular old black bezel one. And let's go ahead and sort them by low to high for fun. And yeah, well, 13, 14, 15. I wish there was a way to sort it for just box and papers to, but I'm not sure you can do that. Well, I don't think this is fair. Look, there's plenty of them in the $10,000 range. But let me get rid of these Russian ones, man. I'm telling you what, I just don't trust that. I want to look for ones in the US where at least I might have a hope at some recourse. So let's look at United States key. US of A. USA. Okie dokie. Wow. Low to high. Well, 10 grand. I'm sure it's not box and papers. Let's have a look. I wouldn't think so. Nope. I think these ones that are showing up first are have paid a promotional fee, to get up that to the beginning. So let's see where we can find the first one with box and papers. I bet you this one isn't either. Oh yeah, here we go. Box and papers. Okay, so there you go. 10.9. So no, that's not 50% more. What were they? I mean, I think they were like 9.
Yep.
Weren't they? So that's not crazy. Now, are they going to get crazy? Maybe. But I still think they're attractively priced, to be frank and honest. And listen, if I'm buying a no box, no papers one, then I want the cheapest one in the best condition that I can get that hasn't been all polished. And that's really the big deal in watches like this. When we, let me see if I can like tap in here and get in tight. See, when you're all right, this is as far as we can go. When we get into the scallops here, when they've polished these guys, the serrations along the edge of the bezel begin to soften. They begin to soften up. So when you run your finger along the edge, like I'm doing with the cursor here, you can feel it, but it doesn't feel like you're running your finger over a file or something with really sharp, defined edges. And then also these points here on the underside are quite sharp. They're very sharp. So if you touch the underside of the lugs, they're like razor sharp. Even more so on the gold, by the way, than on the steel. And Don Haynes called me and he said that's because gold is easier to machine than steel. So they can put a finer point on it, which sounds reasonable. But it's condition that you want to really look for. And I think the most important areas to look for condition is, to determine, are those lugs still really sharp, and has that bezel been put on a buffing wheel? Now, I can't quite tell from looking at it, but it looks to me like this has had a light polish, best guess. I'd know for sure if I had it in my hands, because I could like just run my finger around the edge and see if it felt sharp or not. But I would want one in original condition. I'd rather have it a little scratched up than polished. That's just me.
But you'd be surprised the amount of people that do that.
Well, almost all of the gray market dealers and like the watch dealers, they're going to clean their stuff up. That's very, very common. But like Del Rey watches or a David S.W.
Sorry.
But those guys, they're going to clean those watches up, because what they know is the average Joe buying from them doesn't want to pull a watch that they spent 10, 12 grand on out of the box and just see it covered in hairline, scratches, and gonks. They don't want to see that. And they know that. So they clean them up. But they tend to do it artfully because they're heavily involved in the industry. And so they don't just stick it on a buffing wheel or a belt sander, and grind them down. They're careful so that they kind of run between polish and buff or light polish. So, well, Corb Forbin Colossus asked a question. I think this is a great one to end on. Can't believe this show is still on. Mark, you have great staying power. That's what she said. Clive, are you on meth? Are you in your feety pajamas? I told you guys. Clyde's in his I Dream of Jeannie outfit because I rubbed the mug.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Clyde, have you got any final words of wisdom for the punchers before we call it a night? That's what I thought. Yeah. A little Corona mucus there.
Make friends at your AD and get on the list. Wait, don't be a schmuck. Don't pay. Don't pay over. Don't pay over.
Well, unless I tell you to. I mean, the guy who I read your letter tonight, guy paid $3,500 over, and he was thrilled that he did it. He's like 10 grand ahead now.
True.
So, Clyde is not wrong, but Clyde ain't right either. So, guys, I want to thank you for being with me. I especially want to thank my partner in crime, Clive, the Watch Wrangler. Make sure you join his channel and fist him regularly in the comments on Archie, who is his spiritual lover. Clyde, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye, boys.